Okay, I thought I would make a gear video after the fact of Heart of the South. For everyone doing this, you're obviously entitled to your own opinion, and you will take what you want, and you might even think all of my choices are excessive. But for the pack, we had the Salomon Advanced Skin 3 5-liter holding everything, and then I also had a Salomon waist pack. Two reasons. It's like last year discovered the more I got off my shoulders and on my waist, it was easier to carry. Second, just accessibility. You can spin that around, grab it, get things in and out. And third, if you cinch that up and raise it up, your pack can sometimes sit on it a little bit and take some of the weight off your shoulders. So very nice. Took a soft flask and a speed straw and would not take it again. Used it for a short while, but you rotate in and out 16, 20, and even larger bottles out of your pack, and you won't need that. The clothing, I think I went overboard, didn't need the extra shirt, ended up tossing it. With socks, I would definitely just take maybe one pair of socks to alternate with. In the same way with underwear. Something you can rinse and dry. And if you're going to do that and take extra clothing, highly recommend the diaper pins, so you can hang off the back of your pack and let them dry in the sun. The stuff that I brought that went on the pack and not in it, this is a microfiber towel. Really good to get the salt away from the corners of your eyes. You can wet it a little bit with your bladder even. Just squirt some water on it and wipe your face. The microfiber, super soft, was really good to clean the glasses with too when needed. Took pepper spray on this lovely retractable thing, so I could always reach and grab it and point it in any direction. Never used it. Don't know if I'd take it again. Hots, the dogs were incredibly simple. You never know about the people you're gonna deal with. So I mean, it's not a terrible idea. It's small, weighed nothing, was out of the way. I'd probably take it again just in case. Ball State, the dogs were a lot worse than Hots. And it might have come in handy last year, but who knows. At Ball State, there were ticks. I even remember one of the aid stations, you could just see them crawling across the concrete. And I know at Heart of the South, Grant Mon had a tick in his neck at the rock. So brought a tick key, which is basically just a spork with one little slot. Slide that and pull. This also went on the pack. The button fell off, but it still worked. It's just a flashing red light for traffic. It was good. You just turn it on at night. That's about it. Let's see. My one flashlight, I did carry an extra AA. This takes a single battery, really bright. Also does strobe, which is what we would use when cars came. On that same note, I had these two reflective bands that were fantastic. These worked better than the flashlight to be seen by cars. Because at nighttime, as soon as someone would see these, they'd hit their brights. I mean, so it was obvious they could see me coming. And I was never worried about traffic not seeing me. And you could take these off, put them on the pack if they irritated your arms at all. But it was great to have those. Highly recommend. It's like the small things that really aren't attached to my pack that went in the pack somewhere is literally just this little pile here. I carried a plug because I couldn't find the Anker version. Anker has this, but this also plugs in. I had to carry a wall plug, but this is like a 20,000 milliamp, which is like 6 charges on your phone or other devices. So this thing was great. It's a little heavy, but I never worried about running out on my phone. Yes, I did take an MP3 player. It's tiny, but it also has 22-hour battery life, and I was only listening to it like 2 hours a day. It was usually that last hour. You just had to have something. So I would put in one earpiece that was away from traffic, and then at a volume level, it was more of a suggestion of music. Never had it loud. And then just a few cords to charge those two things. Wipes, have to have wipes. I had dude wipes. I grabbed these just so I would remember to tell. But yeah, in its own baggie. And then you also took another baggie. I mean, if they're biodegradable, maybe you can toss them in the brush and feel okay. I wasn't sure about mine being biodegradable or not. I didn't remember. So I had a gallon bag that was my nasty wipes that would go into, and they would get sealed up and then thrown away at stops. Just don't want to leave those out there. And of course, you have your random Ziplocs that are for your phone, for food at restaurants you buy, for leftovers. You had those for ice, all kinds of things. You'll end up with Ziplocs, you'll find out you need them. This little thing, I had 2 little tubs of Vaseline. This is extra clinical strength deodorant. It's tiny. It's like the gel version, so you can just kind of smooth it on with your finger. Personal preference. It didn't take up much. I don't remember using it the last couple of days. Just got into a mindset of not caring. And then there is a tiny little bar of soap I could have used with the water that we had. So, I mean, it's not impossible to kind of clean up a little bit, even if you're not hoteling. I mean, with a bottle of water, you can wash up a little bit if you want. I mean, this is a full hygiene program right here. And then travel toothbrush and toothpaste. These were awesome. I found myself, since we would eat mints, for the nice little psychological boost, little upper effect of just having a piece of candy or something. We had mints, Mentos, Lifesavers. Highly recommend the mints. Just, you don't go through the water as fast, and as a result, you're kind of fuzzy a lot in your mouth. I brushed my teeth quite a bit just to feel human. It was not bad. Chapstick with a little SPF in it. Your lips will burn. Once the 2 Vaselines ran out, I bought Udder Balm. There's Bag Balm, A&D ointment, whatever you want, but this one on the feet fixed a lot of things, a lot of chafing issues if you had. This was perfect. And then 2 soft-sided little 3-ounce bottles, just so I would remember. This one was sunscreen. That's why it's the sun. And this one was full of Desitin. Miracle cure-all of everything is Desitin, or any zinc oxide cream, 16% or higher, for the good stuff. Some of them are even like 40, I can't even remember, but this was great. My entire foot regimen, the whole trip was thin layer of Vaseline, and then Desitin over the top of that all the way around. I only had to tape like twice when I got blisters, and it's just the way my toes are. So I've got real big meaty pads on the like 3rd and 4th finger, or 3rd and 4th toe, and just I've always had to worry about that. This is a waterproof bag, the super waterproof bag for the phone. Absolutely seals. I had index cards also in there with notes. So the phone on one side, the notes on the other. At Vol State, it was so humid, it was good to have your phone in a bag and any paper in a bag. But here, it wasn't as humid, so things didn't like dissolve the way they did at Vol State, I'll be honest. But you want something, you can use the Ziplocs, but this was for that monsoon that you know is coming, and where you're gonna be wet, you're gonna get rained on for hours, and it happens. And that's what this was really for, was just for that one big honking storm. But I mean, it rolls up into nothing. You can carry other stuff in it, so it's really kind of out of the way. and a quarter roll. I ended up with 1/4 left. I remember giving away a lot of change to some folks on the street that were kind of panhandling. And it's like, I'm looking at the list. Yeah, it's like the things I wouldn't carry again. I started out with a little bit of food, thinking I was a genius. I had tortillas because they're so flat and they packed in the back. So I had a package of tortillas hiding down here, small ones, and a truckload of almond butter. It never sounded good, I never used it, and I ended up throwing them away. But of course, anything I threw away during the trip, I needed one time afterwards. I ended up at a Mexican restaurant the very next day after having a giant bowl of fajita veggies that I could have rolled into tortillas and packed and had food for days. But of course, I had already thrown them away. So that's pretty much how that goes. But in general, would not need, and that was even the same way with like the flask over here. Didn't need the flask, so many 20-ounce bottles. I had the Nun tablets for caffeine, but it was nice after, a couple of times, but then you have to have the flask or the water bottle, and then it definitely kind of tainted your water until you were able to rinse it out and clean it out. So wouldn't do that. I also had arm sleeves and a buff. And those I would rinse out and hang out if it was nice, and then put them on once it got hot. Since they weigh next to nothing, they protect you from the sun. Mine were 99 cents from Wish. And I absolutely love them. I had a pair at Ball State that I got from Wish last year. They're just absolutely fantastic. They keep you cool. They keep the sun off of you. They were amazing. So, I mean, your own clothing preferences are yours, but honestly, I would say your bare minimum is your phone and whatever keeps it charged, a flashlight, an extra battery. You want to be reflective. Put tape on your pack. Get a good pack that has the tape. And then, I don't know where my foot kit is not in here, which is really weird. My foot kit basically just consisted of, I had a Swiss Army knife that hung on this pack. So the Swiss Army knife, for the knife, a can opener, because we did buy tortillas and refried beans at one of the grocery stores and make our own wraps and take them with us, and hummus. So we did do that once. So the one time we bought food and really packed it in was that for later. I mean, we bought Subways and carried them and that kind of stuff, but you can always get those bags. But yeah, a knife, a scalpel, whatever you want to call it, take it with. I had fingernail clippers, tape, Q-tips, and the benzoin, a small bottle of benzoin that I had put into a travel size, even smaller than this, for shampoo. So the Q-tips fit right in the little hole, and that was it. But I don't know where my foot kit is. If I find it, I'll do a little postscript and add it on here. But yeah, it was really small, fit in the bottom of the pack. So I mean, for the most part, the heavy battery, my phone would be in the pack. Desitin, sunscreen, quarters, battery roll. The heavy stuff was here on the hips. Never really noticed it. And then just the water, because this is heavy by itself. When this is full, it's got some serious weight to it. 2-liter bladder. And then especially if you had another bottle hanging here, and then I also had my umbrella, which would fit in this pocket here, hands-free, straight up in the air, over my head. So the light stuff went up here so you didn't destroy your shoulders, and then I had the heavier stuff down here. But honestly, to get you through, it's what's gonna help your feet and your skin, chafing, blisters, what's gonna navigate you, and what's gonna keep you from getting hit by cars, killed by cars. The rest you can grab on the fly. And of course, like I said, your wipes, you will you will compost on the side of the road. You will hang on to a guardrail. You'll be behind a tree. You'll be under a bush. You'll be somewhere. Yeah. And because of these, you need these just clean, dry, lubricated, and you'll know when you're not. You'll absolutely know when you're not, and you'll be miserable. So honestly, the things you need to bring are very, very few. I can't believe even doing this the second time that I still brought so much stuff and ended up throwing it away. But yeah, it's if you can't put it on your feet or your skin or eat it or drink it, you probably just don't need it.